Hi everyone, this is Jennifer of the Common Milkweed, and I have been touring around for a while now, and my mouth barely wants to move because it's kind of cold, but it's going to be warm later, and I am just admiring so much of what has happened on this land since we've been planting and Mother Nature's been planting. And one thing that I think is the coolest, hey Cardinal, there she is. Since we moved here, one of the coolest things that we have done is slow down this ditch that is on our land. So you can see we've got a ton of tubes in here. There's plum and pawpaw and then some herbaceous plants, and we have to tube everything because the rabbits like to nip things off around here. So we look kind of wonky for a while, but that doesn't matter. These are mostly silky dogwoods in here, and then dead and dying ash and elm. And those all surround a ditch. So there's a culvert right here, the road is right up here, and the watershed divide for our area between Alum Creek and Big Walnut is just up on top of that hill. So we are very near the top of this watershed divide. That stuff is fascinating. If you start looking at some watershed maps, wow, it's pretty cool stuff. And then you start to understand land a little bit better. But when we moved here, there were a lot of failed septic systems upstream, and this wasn't very vegetated. Some of these dogwoods and those trees were definitely here, but it was super fast moving. The water, when it would come through here, it can get really high, and it would just scour the soil away and take it on downstream. And so I wanted to show you, Steve has been the main force behind this. He has been working to slow this down via vegetation, plants, and little check dams and piles of rocks. So right here on the side of the bridge we have 2 piles of rocks, mostly just from the land here, and they're helping to stabilize the soil because he stuck in some willow whips. Look at that. I mean, really, just a couple years ago. Willows are fascinating. I've talked about them before. Some of you have shared how the viceroys use them as host plants, and they grow fast. They're just really, really great for many different reasons. One is which they love water and they help clean out water as well. So let me show you. I'm going to go around and I'm going to show you this next spot to the west where Steve has a couple check dams. And you can see though right here, thanks to the check dams I'm going to show you, there is water in here. All right, hold on a minute. Okay, so I am west of where I just showed you. I'm not really very far. You can see our green path out there. And so check dams, I mean, they're so complicated. Haha, let me walk over here. Really, all they are is just either piles of rocks or boards wedged in to slow down the water. And they catch the soil that's moving in the water. Look at that right there. That is incredible. So this is helping to stop deepening this ditch and maybe allow it to start doing some more of its natural behavior. Look at that. There's a gravel pile right here. This is what waterways want to do. They are sinuous. They want to bend and twist. When they're just real deep and straight, they just get scoured, like I said earlier, and all the soil washes away and the water moves out. So you don't have water in these little pools like what we have here. So the water is retained for much, much, much longer and then soaked into the earth instead of moved on out of here, and then during periods of dryness you have nothing. So the check dams, as you can see, look, he's there, he's got 2 sticks driven in, a board wedged in, and then I just had an extra board, so I just stuck that one in top. But look at that difference in height from one side to the next. Look. That is what it is all about, folks. So there are birds in here constantly now because there are all these little pools. The septic systems have been fixed upstream of us, and the check dams are holding soil, allowing plants to grow in here and allowing all these pools to be used by wildlife for longer periods of time. It is such an easy process, so cool. So if you have access to a ditch on your land, one of the best things you can do for wildlife and for water quality is to slow the water down. Get it vegetated, and then watch the life return and watch the character of the ditch become a stream again. We're starting to see a little bend here. That is sweet. Okay, happy holidays, everybody.